Hello, welcome back to another session of the digital classes of UN Autonomous College of Science and Technology. I am Amita Patra, Head of the Department, Master of Commerce, Finance and Control. So, we are going to discuss today a very interesting topic of financial derivative and risk management. So, in this financial derivative and risk management throughout we have discussed many things, and all the time we are been discussing that we are going to hedge our risk, we are going to shift our risk, or we are going to avoid the risk that is there, and for that what we are doing, we are taking a future contract. But in there we have talked of a spot price or the cash price and a future price on which this contract is been taken. So, what is the relationship between the spot price and future price? So, this is a very significant or important thing which we must know, and there are various theories or approaches we can say for the pricing of these futures. So, in today's class we are going to cover the theories of future prices. So, without any delay we will dive into the concept of these theories of future prices. So, there are actually several theories which have made efforts to explain the relationship between the spot and the future prices, and there are some significant and important theories which are being widely accepted and are considered to know or establish the relationship between the spot and future prices, and that are the cost of carry approach and the expectation approach. So, we will be discussing these approaches in detail. First is the cost of carry approach. The cost of carry can be defined simply as the net cost of holding a position. So, you must be knowing that what is the carrying cost is. Suppose for example, we can say when we are talking of this financial derivative, we had taken many examples, and now if we will consider, suppose we will take a forward or a future contract of a wheat, and we are getting long position, or we are taking a long position on a wheat. That means we are going to buy wheat of a certain quantity on a future date. That is what a future contract is, simply what we know. And the price that we are determining for the future date, for say after 6 months, the price that we are determining after 6 months is the future price. But the future price is definitely different from the cash price that is now. But the commodity that is that we are taking a future contract on now is going to be stored somewhere for these 6 months, or going to be kept somewhere for these 6 months. So, and also there are some other issues like the insurance, the warehouse costs or transportation costs. Like there are various costs that are accumulated on the storage of that particular commodity, or transportation of that particular commodity, or insurance of that particular commodity. So, various factors are there which is adding to the price of that particular commodity. So, that is what the cost of carry is. So, it is the difference between the cost of particular asset and the returns generated on it over a particular period. And it can also be defined as the difference between the interest generated on a cash asset and the cost of funds to finance that instrument. So, not only in commodities but also in financial instruments or in financial assets also the cost of carry is applied. It might be in the form of the interest that will be there for that financial instrument. And it is the amount to be paid to store the asset from the present time to the future's maturity time. So, in the commodity market, it is the cost of holding an asset in physical form, including insurance payments, and in the derivative market, it includes interest expenses on margin accounts, which is the cost incurred on an underlying security or index until the expiry of the futures contract. So in commodity market, it is the cost of carrying the commodity or keeping the commodity or storing the commodity, we can say. And when we are talking of the financial derivative or on the financial instrument, it also incur the carrying cost of the expenses on the margin accounts or the margin amount that we are paying, and the expenses of ensuring that, the interest on that, all these charges on the underlying asset could be the carrying cost. The cost also includes economic costs such as the opportunity costs associated with taking the initial position. So what are the types of carrying costs? So as we have said that there could be various charges that could be implemented or that could be there with the instrument or with the asset that we are taking as the underlying asset in the future contract or in the future derivatives. So the types of carrying cost could be various, or there could be various types of carrying costs. Now we will discuss that what are these types of carrying costs. So these carrying costs could be a storage cost, it could be an insurance cost, it could be a transportation cost, and it could be a financing cost. So these could be the types of carrying cost that a particular instrument or commodity is carrying with it. Let's understand that what are these carrying costs in particular. So we'll start with the storage cost. So what is the storage cost? It is simply the expenses done on storage and maintenance of the asset. So when we are storing a particular asset that we have taken as the underlying asset, or the assets that we have taken on the future contract, we are storing it, or we are maintaining the quality of it, and we are keeping it safe and secure, so that throughout the period the cost that beared on that particular commodity for the safe and secure storage and maintenance of the quality could be called as the storage cost. And it includes the rent of the warehouse and other expenses associated with like deterioration, pilferage, normal wastage, etc. So the storage cost would include the expenses that we are paying as the rent to the warehouse, or it could be the deterioration, or it could be the pilferage, that means the small thefts, or we can say the misplace or like that, and the normal wastages and some other things are there that could include in the storage costs. So in case of financial instruments, the costs incurred on keeping the securities in a bank vault or with custodians could be a storing cost. So when we are talking of a commodity, the storage cost of a commodity could be the rent that we are paying for the warehouse, or we can say that it could be the cost that we are paying for the wastage, for the small thefts, for pilferages, or it could be some other charges that are there which we have to bear during the period of storage for the commodities. And while we are talking of the financial commodity, it could be the charge that we have to pay for the bank vault or other associate charges. So that could be the storage cost of that financial instrument or asset. Next, we will talk of the insurance cost. So it refers to amount incurred on safety of the asset against the hazards. So while we are talking of insurance, that means we are going to insure that particular commodity or asset that we have taken the future contract on. That means when we are making the contract, we make it a point, we are going to be delivered with the quality of the product that we have taken as the underlying asset. The quality should be intact, that's what we are saying. So while we are taking the commodity on the basis of its quality, or when we have the commitment to get the commodity on the intact quality, the insurance or the protection of that commodity is very essential. So while we are talking of protection, it should be insured from various hazards. So what could be the hazards? Like it could be the hazards from the fire, it could be the hazards like the weather, it could be a hazard of water damage. So there could be various hazards that could happen to the commodity that we have taken as the underlying asset. So when we are protecting that from those hazards, we have to make it insured. So the insurance cost is also could be a carrying cost. So the insurance is necessary for protection against hazards such as we have said the fire, accidents, weather, natural disasters, etc. So this could be various hazards that could happen to the commodity, and we are insuring the commodity from these hazards. And the premium and other costs incurred on insurance is called the insurance cost. Next is the transportation costs. So when the future contract matures, the delivery of the assets is given at a particular place which may be far away from the warehouse of stored goods. So when we are taking a future contracts, it's not necessarily that it will be then and there available. We might need to transport it from a place from where it is been kept or from where it is there. So the transportation cost that we are bearing from a place to other, or from the place where it is to the place where it need to be delivered, it could be a cost that will be added to the cost of that particular product or to the cost of that particular underlying asset. So that could be a transportation cost. So this transportation cost is also a carrying cost that will be carried by the commodity, and this transportation cost is obviously could be different according to the distance to where we are going to transport it. So in some cases the carrying costs also include its transportation costs, and obviously transportation costs will be different from location to location and also to the nature of commodity. Another important type of carrying cost is the financing cost, and it is the cost of financing the underlying asset in another important carrying cost as we have said. So we can take an example and understand this financing cost, that if suppose gold costs rupees 50,000 per 10 grams and the financing rate is 1% per month, then the financing cost for carrying the gold is rupees 500 per month. So hope you have understood. So when we are talking of the financial instrument, so the financing cost could be a carrying cost. So as we have said in the example, suppose we are taking a future contract on gold of 10 gram for 1 month for say, and the financing cost of gold is 1%. So that 1% will be the carrying cost, and after 1 month the 1% of this 50,000 will be 500, and this 500 is the financing cost that is carried with that underlying asset, and this is the carrying financing cost. And apart from these types of carrying costs on an underlying asset, there can be possibility of earning a yield on storing the asset. Such yielding is known as convenience yield from holding stocks. So convenience yield is the earning that we can make out of storing these particular underlying assets. So as the underlying asset is carrying some carrying costs, it can also earn on the days of which it is been stored, and that is what is called as the convenience yield. So the earning that is made out of the storage of the underlying asset for the particular period, that is called as the earning yield. And the net carrying costs for any given asset may be expressed as CT is equal to CGT minus YT. So this is the net carrying costs. So while we are taking a financial derivative, whether we are taking it on a commodity or we are taking it on a financial instrument, whether we are carrying it or someone else is carrying it, according to the position that we are taking, either we are going to buy it or sell it, or we can say that whether we are in a long position or short position. So someone is holding it and someone will be delivered it in the future dates. So accordingly, if we will say that the net carrying cost is the as we have said that a CT is equal to the net carrying cost is equal to CGT minus YT. So this is what the concept of carrying costs and the types of carrying costs is. Now we will go to the carrying cost model of the future market. So the cost of carry model. So theoretically, the price of a future contract is the sum of the prevailing spot price and the cost of carry. But the actual price of future contract also depend on the demand and supply of the underlying stock. So if we are saying theoretically the price of the future contract is the spot price, is the prevailing spot price and the cost of carrying it. Theoretically we are saying that, but it also depend on the demand and supply of that particular commodity. That is what it is saying. The formula for the theoretical basis of the future contract is the future price is equal to the spot price plus the cost of carry, or we can say the cost of carry is equal to the future price minus the spot price. So the cost of carry is nothing but the future price and the deduction of the spot price from this future price. So we can understand with the example. Suppose the spot price of script X is rupees 1600 and the prevailing interest rate is 7% per annum. So we have a script X whose spot price is 1600 rupees and the interest rate on it is 7% per annum. So the future price of 1 month contract would therefore be 1600 plus 1600 divided by 0.007, that is 7% per annum, divided by 30 by 365, that is 365 days in a year. 30 is the number of days in a month. This is the interest per annum and this is the spot price of the script. This is how we are going to get the cost of carry per day, and this is, and the cost of carry we are getting 11.51 rupees. Now it will be added to the cost of the cash price, or we can say the spot price, that is rupees 1600. So now we are having the cost of carry as 11.51 and the future price will be 11.51 rupees. So this is what is the cost of carry is. So now we have understood that the future price is incurring with it the cost of carrying it, and we have understood that what could be the type of carrying cost that the underlying asset could bring it with it, or what could be the carrying cost that will be there with the underlying asset. And we have understood that what is this carrying cost and the model of the carrying cost is. What is the approach of this carrying cost is, we have understood the concept. Now this carrying cost could be a approach of pricing the future in a perfect market or an efficient market or in an imperfect market. In our next class we will be discussing that what are the model of this carrying cost on the perfect market and the imperfect market, and also we will be discussing the expectation approach of the future prices. That's all for today. Thank you.